do you think today is the most popular fixture, indoor fixture?
Indoor fixture, I'd have to say it's going to be a panel.
Panel, actually,
Panel.
believe it or not, Paul, I understand like a majority of the office space, they're using panels.
Oh yeah, they're all over the place.
That's why we want to focus on the panels. Now, we take a different approach, right?
Right.
Other people try to sell cheap panels.
They
What
do.
we try to do is we sell your guys a group of panels will satisfy all your needs. So you just wonder, what do you mean about all your needs? Here we go,
What are all these needs?
right?
What
Okay.
can they be?
What can it be? Okay, so Paul, will you put on, let's start with the DTF,
Start with the DTF.
okay? Right?
Right.
That's easy because
Easy
people have to
process.
understand how to order. After DTF, what's the next letter?
Well, then you got to pick your size. You
Right.
know, we offer a 1x4, a 2x2, and a 2x4.
So make sure when you order, you have 3 different choices, right? 1x4, 2x2, 2x4. Okay, what's the third one?
Third one's the power. So
Okay.
we use the letter U, and the letter U equals 120 volt to 277 volt.
That covers that.
Okay.
Keep going, Paul.
We
Now it's
also
getting
have-
interesting.
We also have an option for dimming, which we call ZD.
Yeah.
Okay. So the ZD in the part number is 0 to 10 volt dimming. So 0 to 10 volt dimming.
So UZD means 120 to 77,
Right.
0 to 10 dimming.
Correct.
So that taking care of the basic information.
Basic information.
Now the fun started,
Ah, yeah.
right? Okay. The next thing we do is today we have different choices, right?
We do. We have all
Okay.
kinds.
We do multiple different ways. I tell you why we do that, because we have to make sure people need a specific wattage. But in the meantime, we have to go along with the mainstream, what we call the multiple wattages.
Right.
So single wattage and multiple wattage.
Correct.
Okay? So based on that, Paul, how do you handle what we call multiple wattage and a single wattage?
Pretty easy for us.
Okay, let's say which letter you're using for, let's say 3 wattages, 2x4, 36, 26, 22.
Right.
Okay, how do you do that?
So it's pretty easy. We're going to put an SW here. SW, selectable wattage.
Okay,
So SW in all these.
okay,
Okay?
that's cool.
That's
so,
pretty easy.
So
And then,
let's say 2x4 is XW, basic version
Right.
is XW3,
right.
I
Right.
believe.
And we use just a number, it's just arbitrary for lumen packages.
Right.
That's all it is.
So
Wattage
XW3,
Yeah.
okay? But if you're using 2x2, I guess it's XW2,
package. Correct.
it's same as a 1x4.
Correct.
Okay? That being said, because sometimes by the utility program, people request a specific wattage.
Right.
We also do specific wattage, right?
We do that.
The XW say selectable wattage.
Correct.
However, if you need something specific, we also have item number,
Yep.
let's say 2x4, right?
Yep.
Or instead of XW3,
Right.
you can do 26
We could.
or 22.
Because this lumen package is a 36, 26, 22. So you could just put a 26 here or a 22.
The reason for that very simple, because of utility program. If the utility want to read it on 26, you really cannot use XW3 on it. Even XW3 has a 26 watt on it, but utility requires specific wattage. That's why we listed 3 different ways,
Right. And one thing to note is if
Right.
you order the 26 or the 22,
right?
that's fixed.
That-
You can't change it anymore.
You cannot change anything. So the next one, Paul.
All right, so the next piece of this, now color. Let's deal with the color. So then we're going to use CCT. We use CCT on these to mean selectable color for us.
Right.
Selectable color.
Okay,
this is a
so
three-color.
that's the basic line. That's a basic line what we do, okay? Basically, Paul, we educate people, say, how do you read a TCP item number?
Right.
That's where the things started,
Yeah.
okay? So that's done. Now, I told you guys early, I said, actually, we offer people the solution. How do we offer people solution? There's only 2 things we believe we offer people the solution today. Not just for the needs, for the how bright it is, how comfortable it is, also relate to all the utility program,
Right.
this and that, blah, blah, blah. So we actually focus on 2 different things.
Yeah.
Number 1, it's the power.
Right?
You need a variety of the power. So remember, the power is staying on here. Remember here?
Yep.
So we have XW2, XW3. Now let's talk about specific wattage behind this.
Right.
So Paul,
Specifically on the wattage,
We start 120.
120.
Okay? Okay, 120 all by itself.
All by
Because,
itself.
okay, 120 is very, very high. 120 will punch out 16,000 lumens. Okay?
So 120 watts, 16,000
1,000
lumens.
lumens. Okay, so this is the highest we ever offer. I tell you, this is very popular because in some very high ceiling, people convert a small warehouse to office space. They do not drop the ceiling. They paint the warehouse black. They use the aircraft cables to hang the panels all the way from the ceiling. When you do that, you need 16,000 lumens.
That's a lot.
Nobody does that. We're only crazy people here do the 16,000. Now, after that, we have 3 different groups, right? To match this. Okay.
Right.
What's your next group, Paul?
So the next grouping we're going to have is the selectable wattage SW4. Okay?
Yeah.
So that one is going to be your 65, 55, 45 watt.
Very simple, Paul, because 65 will punch at 10,500 lumens, so 65 watt will classify as a high bay.
Yep. So that's your 10,500 lumen one.
Why do we do 55, 45? Because, Paul, remember, people ask, oh, do you have a panel for 7,500 lumens?
Right.
Pick one, whatever you
Right.
want.
And you can just select the
Yeah,
lumen
you
package
set the
that you
lumen
want.
package.
Right.
That's our first group, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's go with the second group.
Then we come to the SW3.
Now we come back to normal life, right?
This is a very
Look at
popular one.
XW3 right here.
Yeah. So that's your 36, 26, 22 watt. Whoops. 22 watt.
Okay, so Paul, this is what we have right now, right? I may surprise Paul. I say, you know what? As we moving forward, I may like to add on the 18 to it.
Sure. And that would be helpful too for some of those utility rebates.
Yes, because sometimes all you need is 2,800 lumens.
Right.
What you do is 18. I tell you, we got so many requests coming. People say, how low can you go?
Right.
Okay, I think right now we have 3. The red one is as we moving forward down the road, could be the 3rd quarter, 4th quarter, we add another one to it, okay?
Right.
So that's the SW3, right? Let's move on. Then you have XW2 right now,
Then we
Paul,
have
right?
the
That's for
SW2.
1x4 and a 2x2.
Right. Which is going to be our 32, 26, 18.
Right. And Paul, I'd like to add another one on it called 15 down the road.
Which will also be very nice for those utility rebate
Right.
programs.
Okay? So let's count, Paul. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You have 12 different wattages. Jeez. Almost to point is because wattage matters because we call savings. Okay? We want people have a comfortable light, enough lights, but don't wasting money.
Right.
Okay? That's why we did one school job. Remember, back a few years ago, the school job, they start with a 46, they end up with 22.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, they did because
Remember?
of the savings.
It's a
utility
savings. You have to look at the savings, okay? Nobody does 12 watts, okay? We are the only one does 12 watts here, okay? This is one thing we offer, okay? So that being said, now we look at the CCT.
Yeah.
I'm going to quiz Paul again.
Uh-oh.
How many different type of CCTs do we have?
Well, we have our standard one.
Okay.
Which are our
So standard one, how many
standard.
colors in it?
3 colors on the standard one.
Okay.
3 colors.
Which is normal.
Normal,
45,
normal, everyday stuff.
4, and a 5. Everyday
Correct.
stuff.
Correct.
Why we keep 3 colors? Because in order to provide people a very high quality of lights, we need to control the Kelvin. Okay, 3 colors is very easy to control because you only mix 3 colors. Okay? However, we do have a crazy request coming. For instance, Sharon here helping do the taping. Sharon said, you know what? Can I have 2700K? Right? Okay. Next day, Paul comes in and said, can I have 6500K?
Right.
We're not going to do single color for 27 and 65.
No.
So what do? We give you another multiple CCT again.
That's correct.
Right?
That's correct.
So how many colors we get on that?
On that one, we're going to get 6 colors.
Okay.
6 colors.
So here we go, Paul.
All right.
CCT 3, normal one, normal CCT.
Right.
You're talking about 35
Yep.
and a 4 and a 5.
That's correct.
Okay? Then the crazy CCT, 35, 4, 5, 65.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Okay, that's what we're offering. This is really cool, guys. We always suggest people using this one, do not using that one, unless you need a crazy colors,
Yeah.
right? Believe it or not, 65 is crazy.
It's a
People
little
love
out
because there's lots of blue lights
Some
in it.
people like it though.
27, Sharon likes it because it's very
Sharon likes
warm
it.
and
Nice
fuzzy.
and warm for
Okay,
her, yeah.
but there's one color in the middle. It's getting popular.
Mhm.
It's a 30.
Yes, 30K is getting pretty popular out there.
Okay, but not over yet. We offer another superior color. Superior color.
Here we go.
We call RGBWW.
Right.
Paul, would you explain that?
Sure. RGBWW is, it can be any color really, because it's red, green, blue, and then you also have color tunable white now. So you
Yes.
can pick any color of white, any spectrum of these colors you want, plus the standard colors, red, green, blue, orange, whatever you like. Anything to mix in that rainbow.
Right. So that pretty much called it fits all. And this color is a superior color. Forget from 27 to 65 anything, because this color we have a special chips able to make into the panel to the point to your desire.
Right.
Okay? There's a lot of things people need out there. Sometimes, you know, if people want to make a fuss, they don't want a 35, they don't want a 40. They say, guys, I want a 38. We don't have 38 here, but this RGBWW, you mix by yourself, okay? And to get this color. So this is what TCP offering. I don't think today, Paul,
Yeah.
really, I mean, you cannot have more than that, okay? If you have anything else you think can help your needs, let us know, okay? But color is a preference for the look it's a personal preference or office preference, okay? That's just a preference only. However, for all the utility, that's what matters here. Utilities matters here, okay? For that reason, Paul,
Yeah.
120 watt is high bay.
Yep.
65 is high bay,
Yep.
okay?
And what Wells is referring to here is our DLC listing.
DRC listing is high bay. Then 55, 45, 36, okay? They're all low bay. EL listing. 32, low bay. So we actually listed the products in two different ways. We list the panel as ambient. We also list it as a low bay.
Right.
Okay? This is how we do it, guys. Today, we offer people two things. This is called the flexibility, because we have to make sure all your needs, not just for the look, for the rebates, for the savings, everything comes from here. Okay? Another thing we really give you the preference is right here, because color matters. If you combine those two things together, you will reach the point. Okay? You say, oh, it's not bad. So the flexibility on the one side, okay, and we're offering the service, by the way. Beyond that is we do the layouts for you,
Yep,
for
lighting
everything
layouts.
what we need.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So hopefully that's the information on our detail.
Yes.
Okay?